Ritika Mahatre, currently MTO at IEEE SISGST. And you must be wondering, what are these sessions about? Well, these sessions are all about exploring your options after graduation. Are you going to pursue MS? Is it going to be here or abroad? Are you going to prefer job? Is it going to be technical or non-technical? Is it going to be in core AXTC or IT sector? We have got all the areas covered. Also, we have uploaded our first episode, Cracking MS, with Aditi Kulkarni on our YouTube channel, IEEE SISGST. So guys, do check it out. At the end of the session, we are going to answer all the questions that you have replied to our previous story. Also, if you have more doubts, you can DM us or message in the chat box. We are happy to answer them all. As for today, we have this episode on the special occasion of IEEE Day. Hence, we have with us Ms. Nivedita Deshpande, who is going to clear all our doubts related to technical job. She has worked as data analyst. She is also a former IEEE representative for the year 2018-19. Her team was also the finalist and runner-up at Smart Indian Hackathon 2018 as well as 19. So let's welcome her. Hi Nivedita.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too. Happy IEEE Day.
Thank you. Well, as you know, today we are celebrating IEEE Day, and you have been associated with IEEE since more than 3 to 4 years. So, how has IEEE shaped your career?
IEEE has been an immense support. I've been associated with IEEE since my first year, from being a participant to vice chairperson and then transitioning to representative has been great. Also, the support that I have received immensely from Biju sir and Kemkar sir, it has played a vital role in shaping my career because without them, this wouldn't have been possible. Even organizing a single event wouldn't have been possible. I've learned teamwork, time management, and people skills through IEEE. So has played a very important role in shaping my career.
Great. So, do you have one of unforgettable memory that you'd like to share?
I have many, but one of the most memorable one would be when we celebrated IEEE Day in 2018. So back then we did not have a separate WIE chapter like you guys have formed now, which is commendable to be honest. And so we thought that we'd combine IEEE Day and WIE session together, and we called some dignitaries from different sectors. Like one was a good position holder in Geo, and other lady was the WIE representative of Mumbai region. So we had chat sessions and Q&A sessions with both of them, and after that we, along with all the members and all the faculty, formed a human representation of IEEE in our college quadrangle. So that was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun at that time.
That's great. But due to pandemic era, we are celebrating IEEE Day virtually.
Yeah, that's sad, but at least we are celebrating it, so it's great.
Yes, that's important.
Yeah.
So let's jump to the questions, shall we?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So first of all, how did you decide what kind of job do you wanted, like a technical or non-technical one?
So since I was always inclined towards technical stuff from the very beginning, to be honest. But actually, in the beginning, I was more into electronics and robotics than software side of it. So in my 11th, 12th also, I had taken electronics, made some projects, basic projects on it. And then till my fourth year, I was the robotics coordinator and robotics head at SIS GST. So I was more into hardware side rather than the software side. But it is like it goes hand in hand. Hardware and software goes hand in hand in software. And over the course of time, I realized that I'm inclined more towards the software side of it, and the SIH experience that you mentioned earlier, that was the turning point, I guess. That is where I decided like I want to do this for the rest of my life. So let's switch my field, and I shifted to software. Yeah.
That's great. So, what did you learn on the job and not in college that you wish you had learned in college or at least knew about it earlier?
So, like I mentioned, the switch that I made in my fourth year. So, I thought if I was more aware or more aware of what I want to be or what I want to do further, I guess it would have given me an edge because I had to learn some new stuff because like in our curriculum we don't have SQL, and since I was into robotics, I never bothered about learning it as well. So I was more into like hardware stuff and everything. But then I realized that it's high time that I learn it. So I started in the eighth semester because I did not want to be even more late than other people, because I realized during the placement exams and everything that okay, yeah, these are some of my weak points that I'm lagging behind, and which might cost me a big exposure if I don't learn. So if I had known that earlier, it would be great. But it's okay. It's never too late, I guess.
It's never too late to learn.
Yeah.
Okay. So now this fierce competition going on and advancing technology, what do you do to stay up to date on your technical qualifications and knowledge?
So like staying up to date is the need of the hour, I guess, because like it is a rapidly evolving industry that we are in. And I guess most of us after college join the software industry, IT industry, or the data analytics side of it. So like it is important to for us to keep ourselves updated. For that, it's okay if you do certification courses because not every job profile offers you the exposure to learn something new. Some of the jobs are monotonous. It can get monotonous over a course of time. So it's okay to do software these Coursera courses or Udemy courses, but it's actually more important to implement them in some projects or something and get validation over it, so that you know that you're doing good or you have some weak links and you need to improve. So
Okay.
I do the same. Yeah, I do courses and everything to keep myself updated.
Okay. So what are the benefits, if there are any, do you see in getting a EXTC degree versus a computer science degree?
So, like, you are aware of both the things, like what goes inside the computer and what goes outside of it. So you have an edge, and also you have the exposure to choose different fields, I guess. So after an EXTC degree, one can choose from different fields. One can go into like VLSI designing. One can go into networking, or maybe like software development, web dev, everything. And now that the curriculum has also changed, I guess it has made us even more flexible to choose whatever you want. So I guess that's important. Like, I know that computer engineering also gives these kind of exposure, but I guess having everything on your plate and then choosing something is a good thing.
Yes, we get hardware as well as software part, so that's
Yeah.
the plus point I can say.
Yeah, and if at some point, like, if you want to change your fields, then you have that option too, because you have that background with you.
So as a seasoned developer, do you refer to documentations and code snippets when coding at work, or do you already have all the knowledge needed in your head?
No one's fully knowledgeable and aware about anything. So Stack Overflow is a go-to place. Also GitHub. You have to learn new things. You have to see new techniques that other developers are implementing, and then take it into yourself. Develop that kind of logic. So it's important. It's not a bad thing to refer something. We refer books to learn, right?
Yeah. Okay. So in your opinion, what are some of the best soft skills to have at a large tech company and why?
So soft skills, I would say, communication skills is greatly important. Team management, but actually, you know what? Being an IEEE teaches you that from the second year itself. So I guess someone who's involved in IEEE doesn't have to learn new things or yeah. So I guess that's what we are going through. That IEEE shapes us through that. For that, I would give a lot of credit to IEEE. But in a general sense, I would say communication skills and like how to talk formally, how to make a short conversation, how to reply to a email is what I think is important, because that's what we do not implement in college, or not neither we are taught in college. So learning things from like LinkedIn and everything, for this I would give all the credit to Aditi, because I have Aditi Kulkarni, who was the
Yes,
representative. So I've learned a lot from her actually, looking at her connecting on LinkedIn and everything.
great. Yeah, Aditi was also on our first episode.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
she is really, I can see her as a like role model.
yeah.
So
She is definitely.
yeah. So how important it is to use LinkedIn in LinkedIn? So have you been benefited by the platform? And are there any hacks or profile to get highlighted by a recruiter?
Actually, I have been using LinkedIn, but not that greatly, to be honest, because I think it's not very popular to use LinkedIn in India as for now, or like some of the mainstream recruiters do not recruit through LinkedIn. Uh, but I guess it's important that you showcase your skills somewhere, and LinkedIn is a great platform to do it. If you do some internet course on the internet, you put it up there. If you do some project, if you learn something new, you put it up there, so that your network, your peers can also learn from you, and also you get to see a lot of similar things, and you get to learn as well. Like it's a give and take platform actually. So it's great if someone uses a LinkedIn from very like early stages of his or her career. I guess it's going to benefit them a lot.
Okay. So how highly do you think companies value self projects versus actual internship or work experience?
Self projects are always highlighted, because like when you put it on the resume, every like I have done 2 or 3 interviews, and every question that I get asked upon is not about my CGPA, it's about the projects that I've done. So I guess it's very important, because they have to know that like when we are going into a recruit or the firm, they are going to place it in a places on a project, right? So they want to know that how good you are with dealing everything, time management and everything. So it's important that you showcase your projects also.
Okay. So due to this pandemic era, there's lots of platform like Coursera, Udemy, StepByte, Procare, etc., offering online certification courses. Do these actually have any weightage in interviews?
If you are doing something, implementing those things, or doing some projects or something like that, then it is important. Like it's not like even in our college we have many courses, many subjects that we learn and we don't implement them. So it's the same thing. If you learn something and don't implement it somewhere, it's not going to benefit you. It's just going to be a line on your resume. So it's important to do some projects, mini projects, like go on HackerRank, Lead Code, test your skills. It's important to do that.
Okay. So what kind of new technology do you think people should devote more attention to according to you?
Sorry, can you come again?
Sorry. What kind of new technology do you think people should devote more attention to according to you?
Since I'm in
Hello?
the data analytics field, I guess like big data is a new thing, and like it has more exposure, machine learning, AI, big data. So if someone's interested in that, then learning about it is a great thing, I guess, because it's still new in the in the industry. So the opportunities are high, the demand is high, but the supply is low. So it's going to benefit us all.
Okay. That's a new topic I learned today personally. Okay. We know you have grabbed a rank for 2 consecutive years in Smart Indian Hackathon. So how does this hackathon or coding competition have effect on your resume?
Immensely. So these hackathons are, the first one I went into was the 2018 one, which was the hardware hackathon. So it was based on IoT. that was a 5 day hackathon. So non-stop 5 days of doing projects, no sleep, nothing. So we are doing terms and like everything, turns and turns, sleeping, so working, everything. That was great because there were people from all over India, different colleges. So just imagine a small college from Nerul. It's not a small college actually, but a local college from Mumbai University, going head on head with IITs and
I see.
NITs, Vellore Institute of Technology, MITs, where they have like top notch facilities and everything. So I guess but our college is like very supportive in all these things, like pushing us to go ahead in the competitions, providing us with with everything that was needed, with all kind of hardware. Like we were demanding something very different which was not available in college also. So they allowed us to go to every place where we could find it, and then just pushed us to go to a competition like that. And there were mentors from different, like some of them were co-founders, founders of startups. They were actually looking into our project, guiding us through that. And government of India was organizing it. So there were MHRD ministers also coming in to guide us and like critique us. But that's a good thing, right? Critiquing, yeah. So I guess I learned a lot from both the hackathons. And like our hard work paid off at the end, so we received a runners up. Yeah, but
Also,
though,
IEEE Extreme is coming up very soon. So,
yeah,
what do you like? Have you participated?
I have not actually, but I know that you guys conducted it in our college last year, right?
Yes. It
So
is
I guess
a 24-hour
yeah.
coding competition.
Yeah.
And
So, like, I did not get a chance to participate in it because our college at that time, like, was not selected to host it. But over the course of years, like, IEEE has grown exponentially, and
yes,
the graph that we are growing at, like, it is great. So, like, I urge everyone to participate in that competition because it is a worldwide hackathon, I guess, right?
yes, it is. And last year, even one of our teams from our college was among a top 800 teams. So
Yeah.
that
So it's
that's a
yeah.
great for that team.
Yeah, that's commendable. And I guess the more the people participate in it, the rank would get higher and higher only,
Yes,
because the prodigies that our college produces is something a different something different.
yes. Okay. Will you change your job to a non-technical field if a good job opportunities comes by?
I guess gaining experience on the technical thing over a course of time and then switching to a management field is what I'm looking forward to do, because I guess that's how you get a career jump. So yeah, that's not an issue. I would do it, but only after gaining like 5 6 years of great hands-on on the technical stuff.
Okay, great. So, which programming language is a good prerequisite for a student in freshman year?
I guess like the basic is go learn C plus plus, and then switch yourself. Like once you get acquired to applying a logic to a question, I guess the coding language doesn't matter. It also depends on the employer, but that's like you're not asking for the ones who are professional, right? For the freshman year. So I guess C and C plus plus are the ones to learn. Get logic, go get logic building on it, go on lead code and hacker rank and explore through some of the competitive programming. Yeah, and then I guess Python is a good option for someone who is inclined towards machine learning, data analytics, data science, or like it depends on everyone. Like the logic remains the same, just the syntax differs and the application differs.
Okay, great. So, what do you prefer, working in India or any other country? Post pandemic situation.
So I guess like I have not had the chance to go abroad and work, but gaining, like, why not best of both worlds? Work here
Yeah.
and there also, and then choose what's good for you.
Okay. So, let's have a short questionnaire. You would prefer? Okay.
Okay,
Uh, Python, C++, or Java? What do you prefer?
Python.
Okay. And is there any specific reason?
So, like, I've been working in the field of data science, machine learning, so that's my go-to language. It's also the libraries are great. The syntax is very readable, so that is why I prefer Python. But I also have the knowledge of Java, C, and C++. That like it. It just, as I told you, the application is where you like choose the depends upon the application that you choose the language. It's a personal choice, I guess.
Okay. Favorite editor?
I use Jupyter Notebook and Sublime.
Okay. Specific reason? Like there's
Jupyter,
Atom.
no, those are just personal favorites, no specific reason.
Okay. So, did you always want to do a technical job? Like technical field is fine, but a technical job,
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, like it tests your logic immensely. So you're constantly learning. You know that you lag behind in some of the parts, and that pushes you harder to learn more to improve your logic. And once the logic is there, I guess it's only hard work that matters to conquer the field.
right? Okay. So, what was your thought process regarding to job interviews and masters when you were in last year of engineering?
So masters was always my goal. So it is even now, but I wanted to gain some experience, right? So like straight away jumping into masters was not something that I was looking forward to, because I knew that I would be switching my field. So I wanted to be like, if not ahead, but at par with my peers that I would be doing my masters with. So I thought it would be a good option for me personally. It's a personal reason, to be honest. If someone has a hands-on with everything that they are going to pursue their masters in, then one could go straight away. But for me, I wanted to do a hands-on, test myself, know my weak links, work on it, and then go for masters. But yeah,
Okay.
masters matters a lot.
Uh, so, what advice would you give to graduating students regarding skills to work on?
Um, like technical or non-technical?
Both.
Okay, so like when you're going into interviews, I think it is important to only highlight your good points and not put everything into the resume, like मैंने ये भी किया, मैंने वो भी किया. Just be concise, just be precise what you have done. Know everything about it, like A to Z of your resume, why you have done it. Not ऐसा भी कि मतलब कभी तो 12th standard में ये सब्जेक्ट ये कोडिंग लैंग्वेज सीखा था तो मैंने डाल दिया, एंड वंस द एम्प्लॉयर आस्क्ड यू अबाउट इट, यू आर लाइक, आई डोंट नो एनीथिंग अबाउट इट. So don't do that. Try to upgrade yourself constantly, and I guess if you're going into, like, your resume should differ from the employer, from employer to employer, from the position that they're offering, and apply to only those fields that you see yourself working for the rest of your life, or at least 5 years down the line, I guess.
Okay. So, these were my questions. Let's just see what audience has to offer.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Should there be some specific subject to teach data science in college? What do you think?
I guess the curriculum has changed now, but during like my graduation in 2019, we did not even have Python or SQL in our in our course
Yeah.
curriculum, but I guess
Actually,
that's present now, right?
yeah, currently there are SDTs going on at the end of the every semester. So that's
I
the thing
guess
our college is doing.
okay. That's great. Like even
Yeah.
if it's not taught in the curriculum, because there are many constraints when it comes to upgrading the curriculum. But I guess it's important for data science, then go ahead and learn it yourself and apply it. And the faculties would be happy to answer your questions, right? Like they
Alright.
always are.
Okay. Join in an MNC versus in a startup. What do you think?
Like it depends from person to person. There are financial constraints. There are some reasons that we want to join a high paying job rather than a like a startup where we get to learn a lot, like we get pushed into different fields. So it's a personal choice, I guess. But if you're looking to learn more and the salary is not a concern, then I would suggest go and join a startup, because you'll get to learn a lot, and maybe you would get pushed into some of the fields that you were not that you do not know were your uh, like favorites also. So it's good to explore
Have
if
you,
there are not any constraints.
so have you worked with startups?
Yeah, I have.
So how was your experience?
Mine was great because I did not choose the offer from an MNC that I had, and I took I took the offer from a startup. So it was great actually, because you know what, like they straight away wanted me to do presentations with the clients, present dashboards to them and everything, which I guess wouldn't have been possible if I were in an MNC, because there's a hierarchy that they follow, right?
It would take
So
years to go by that
yeah,
post.
yeah, yeah, but it's a personal choice. Like I enjoyed it thoroughly. So if someone who's looking forward to do it, then I would suggest go join a startup.
Okay. If money is not the constraint.
Yeah, which is an important
Okay.
constraint actually.
Okay. So next question we have. I aspire to be a data analyst, scientist. As a fresher, what should be the path do freshers do get the job?
It's always data analyst. You do not get a job straight away for a data scientist. You have to work through the ladders. You have to follow the steps that are there. Data analyst is what aspiring data scientist would get, or a data visualization engineer, or a database management job. But I guess those are the two or three sectors that, but it's always like only these three fields that one would get a job into. But data scientist, straight away after graduation, no one gets into that. Like you have to have a experience as a data analyst doing the basics, data cleaning, like data wrangling and everything.
Okay. I hope whoever has asked this has cleared their doubt.
Yeah,
Okay.
if not, like I can do it personally. Like I can clear the doubts personally also. I would be glad.
Okay. If you have more questions, please post. Okay. Uh, could you talk about the areas that can be improved with respect to IEEE?
That can be improved with respect to IEEE.
Yeah.
I guess, I guess like I've seen personally, I've seen the growth of IEEE in these four to 5 years that I have been associated with. In my first year, there were only like seven committee members that were working for IEEE, and now they are in hundreds. So
Yeah.
that's yeah. So like get more and more people involved in it, irrespective of the branches. So it should not be only specific to EXTC. It should be like a general one, because IEEE is a international
Community,
chapter,
you can
right?
say.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
community. And like from the grassroots level itself, every stream should be brought into the IEEE, so that everyone gets to learn about it and gets good exposure from it. And I guess in our college it is slightly inclined towards only for EXTC people, but I guess this could be improved. This is only a suggestion from my side.
Okay. Yeah, actually, majorly IEEE members are EXTC, but we
Yeah,
are always telling them that it's not only EXTC, it's
yeah,
computer science, IT, everything is involved.
yeah, yeah. I guess over the
Okay.
course of time, everyone will realize, like
Yes.
in the fourth year, ultimately everyone gets to know the importance of it. Yeah.
Okay. So, as an EXTC engineer, how easy is it to find a job other than IT field?
I guess you just need to have skills for it or the determination to jump into some other field and do it. Yeah, like prerequisites are needed, but then I guess the for freshers there are not many constraints that the companies put in. So only some basics about the stream that that you want to jump into, like other than IT, is good. It's a good way to go. Just you need to keep searching on for jobs, because if there's something that doesn't come to like an on campus or off campus placement, like for the like they are generally the big companies that are very like famous and putting it out the placement drives and everything, but there are various portals through which freshers can also get jobs into different field other than IT. Just the prerequisites are needed, nothing much.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So, there's a follow-up question. What are
yeah.
some data science applications in astronomy in India? How do you approach them?
Sorry, data science.
Data science applications in astronomy in India.
I do not have like a knowledge about it, but I guess astronomy you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
uh, I guess there might be. I guess I don't know. Like I don't want to answer something that I don't know about. So I'm sorry I could not
So
answer
could you
this.
tell it in general, like what are the applications data scientists have?
So there are very broad applications. Data analytics can be used in healthcare and IT. Then it could be used for marketing and advertising, which is, I guess, like those companies come to our college as well. Then sales, supply chain management. Yeah, I guess there are various fields that analytics can be implemented into, even cyber security and everything, not data analytics but security and analysis and everything, but that's different. That's different.
So next question. Again, it's same kind of question, but could you maybe give us some insight across actual field, maybe, and it is related with data analysis and or sciences?
The job profile or everything?
Job profile. I assume it's job profile.
Yeah.
Could you
So
help?
like when you go into data analysis, the employers would want you to do a very tedious job of cleaning their data sets that they receive from their clients, or that you have to scrap from web and do it. So like there's a lot of uh, yeah, so there's a lot of ways like redundant data that is present there, you have to remove it. That's called data cleaning. And then organizing the data as per your needs, making a database if there's not a database like developer there in the team. Then like maintaining the database, that is one thing. Then visualization of data, making pivot charts, then creating dashboards on Tableau or Power BI. That's one profile. Like there's a lot of thing that you have to do as a fresher, and then it gets narrowed down slightly after a course of time. Yeah, and this was about data analytics, but and in data science, then you have to apply machine learning, you have to apply regression and everything. Sorry.
So, is it ever too late to learn and take an interest in tech? How to compete with others that have more experience?
I guess
That's
it's never too late. It's never too late because I've seen people who are doing MBA in the technical fields after getting degrees in commerce field. And I guess it's never too late because like everything is present on the internet. You just have to go and like get yourself immersed in the thing that you want to learn. And like if we have the audience who's doing engineering, we are halfway there, I guess. We know how to apply things, how to like what should be the input, what should be the output. We have the that set of thinking skills and like imbibed in ourselves from the very beginning. So I guess it's never too late. But like there's a like taboo that people from EXTC cannot jump directly into the software field, I guess. But I guess it's not that difficult once you start learning and like knowing that it's not that great a deal to like learn something new. And if you're in it, totally give your 100% and your job is half done.
great. Okay. Is it ever that's the same question, sorry. Uh, do you think recession is the best time to get your masters done?
Yeah, I think so. Like that's a nice question, because if your masters is of 2 years, like looking at the past recession that happened in 2008 2009, which actually didn't affect India that much, but currently the job openings are very limited. So if you're doing your masters, by the time you graduate, the industry would be stable. There would be more jobs, and I guess there would be a greater demand as well. And there would be some new technologies or new fields that may emerge. So I guess it's a good time to do your masters in this kind of recession.
Okay, great. Do we work on a lot of collabs over GitHub maybe?
Sorry.
Could you, we'll take the next question. Could you tell the importance of probability and statistics in data analysis?
It is very important, you have to know what your data is meant for, what you want out of your data, and that is important when you know the techniques that you want to apply it on. So for some, like we have the raw data with us, and if we don't know what we want it to be in the future, what the client wants it to be, then it's of no use. Just the raw data is of no use. So applying the basic average, mean, median, mode, ANOVA, chi-square over it, that gives us the edge, that gives us the answers that we are looking out from our data. So basic statistics and probability are like the foundation of data analytics.
Okay. So, do you know anything about dual degrees in management through foreign universities?
I dual degrees, I guess Masters of Science and MBA is one of the dual degrees that are offered in US. But I don't know about another country because I haven't researched much about another countries. But I guess there would be. And there are many people to get guidance about the same, because from our college many people have gone to do a master's in like 1 or 2 years after graduation, so they could be very useful for this question.
Okay, the same person has asked, how difficult is it to crack New York or Australian business management colleges?
uh, like those colleges do not have a cutoff like we have in our country. So it's always based on your profile. Like it's 50% on your profile, how good are you, what skills you have, what projects have you done, and I guess 50% on your grades. But I guess if your skills and your projects overpower your grades, then they don't even look at your grades or the exams like IELTS and GRE that you're giving. So it's important that you build like a overall profile, and cracking is then it's easy.
you end up not getting a job through placement and don't have the money for higher studies, how to go for a stable job?
Like look through different portals that are available, because there are jobs available out of college placements also. Many people do not even choose to go for college placements because the profiles that are coming in do not suit their goals. So there are various portals like Indeed, Naukri, and everything to go and look upon. Internshala to at least get yourself started in the field of in the professional field, and some of the internships even get converted into jobs. So there are various options. Like there's nothing to lose hope about if you don't get a placement. There are a lot of options available, and there are a lot of employers as well looking forward to take yourself into their team.
Okay. So this is my personal question. Could you tell me
Yeah.
more about your field, like in depth? How was your starting experience? Like how did you start with your field for your
Yeah.
field?
So like said that at the end of my fourth year, I realized that like I was done with robotics. So I started learning new things. I knew that like I I went through a lot of things. I wanted to experiment. So I read a lot about web dev and everything. But in the end, since I was into maths a lot since my school days and even through college times, so I knew that data science was something that was meant for me. So like I said, basics first. I started to learn about statistics. I started to learn, brush up my skills about probability. Then as and when as the time went by, I developed my skills in SQL also, SQL, Python, and then Tableau. And then started taking up projects, like some mini projects just for myself, just for building my profile. And that have helped me a lot to attract some of the employers, because there's a Tableau profile also, that is a public profile. So once you put that in your resume, they go up to your profile and check how you've done, how are the dashboards that are created. So it's important that your data tells a story, right? So that should be your aim. Like there's a suppose you have a data set of thousand fields and you don't know what to do with it, then that's of no use. You should know that, like if there's a if this is the data which would want to show that what are the items that are being purchased more. Like I'm taking an example. So I guess so that is the thing you want to grow yourself to, grow yourself looking like, just after looking at your data, you have to know that, like, yeah, this is the end goal that I'm trying to achieve. And then these techniques come in handy to finalize it.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I am currently in third year, and if I start now, because I
Yeah.
feel it is very interesting field, and at least I should try to learn about it.
Yeah.
Is it a good time, or am I too late, or what would you like to suggest?
Go ahead, explore your options. It is a good time that you are asking this question, because otherwise it would be Nivedita 2.0, learning it that I want to switch my field in the fourth year. So go ahead, explore your field, then explore yourself. Take a look what you're good at, what you want to do, what you like. It just instantly hits that, yeah, this is the thing that I want to do. And otherwise other things do not interest you that much. So you'll get to know instantly when you jump into something new. uh, and yeah, and there would be an internal push coming also, like, yeah, this is the thing that I want to do. So go ahead, it's never too late.
I hope I do the justice now. Now that you have said
You
everything. Okay, I guess we have come to an end of this session. If there are any doubts, you could still post. Yeah, I guess that's it. So,
I guess I was helpful. If
yes,
there's some other doubts also, let me know, I'll solve those.
Okay, I guess we have come to the end of this session. So thank you, Nivedita, for sharing your experience and knowledge with us, and also celebrating this year's virtual IEEE Day with us.
It was my pleasure. Special thanks to every one of you and the whole EXTC department, especially Biju sir, for making this happen. Like I'm honored. I'm honored to be a part of this virtual celebration.
Well, I'm honored to ask you such questions.
Thank you
Okay.
so much. Thank you.
Yeah. So to the
Bye.
audience, yeah, bye bye. So
Bye.
thank you for attending today's episode and stay tuned because we are coming up with our next episode very soon. Till then, bye bye. Take care.
Bye. Take care,
Bye bye.
everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.